Becky,
Hey,
I tricked
Ryan.
you. I
You did
tricked
trick
you.
me. You tricked me.
But I am glad you are here.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you're here. I
I
mean, this
know.
is going to be fun. We're going to have a kickoff here. So we're live, correct?
We are
Ready to
as
go?
live as it can
Okay.
be across
Okay.
multiple
Excellent. I
channels.
still have a countdown on my thing, so all good. Um, yeah. So, hey, everybody that's here, everybody that will join us, everyone that sees this afterwards, welcome. Welcome. We're doing the Founders Campaign kickoff. This is our webinar series, the Founders Campaign, because 2026 is about clarity, action, and results for military connected businesses. We have seen a lot of success for our veteran-owned businesses, and veterans are launching companies at a rate that outpaces the general population. According to the Daniello Institute for Veterans and Military Families, veteran-owned businesses employ 3.3 million people nationwide, and they represent 5.5% of all business owners in the nation. In 2023, actually, veteran founders started 8% of new businesses while making up only 6% of the US population. So I think this is a really good group to shout about. I think this is a really good place to have these conversations, but we're really wanting to do it in a way where we're cutting out the static, cutting through the noise. So we're really going to rely on some feedback we get from you all and some feedback that we can have to help bring those conversations to light. We do have a plan, but as you know, sometimes the plan has to change. So as we're talking, I'm Becky Gertler with the Utah Veteran Business Resource Center. Utah's home to nearly 140,000 veterans and about 19,000 military connected businesses. And with us, we have Ryan Patrick Hunt from Veteran Social Summit in 10th Mountain. Ryan, why don't you give yourself a little bit of an intro?
Wow. Well, first off, thank you, Becky. And I'm really excited about this year, specifically because of this collaboration between the Utah VBRC and Veteran Social Summit and Forged by Service. This is really a great opportunity for the entire veteran community. No fluff is your mission is. No fluff, expert-led sessions. And this is just something that, Veteran Social Summit last year, we had a series of webinars leading up to Vet Social 25, which was just an amazing event with over 80 speakers, including yourself, and 1,400 attendees registered for it. And we are excited for this partnership because I think it's going to really unite. It's going to grow, amplify, and elevate our missions that we both have in the veteran community. And the veteran community as a whole, meaning veterans, military spouses, and military dependents, and I just think everybody, like proud patriots, if you will. And so I'm excited about it. We're going to host these monthly webinars, and for us, our culminating event, as you know, will be Vet Social 26, which will be held virtually everywhere that you have internet on 9 and 10 September. And so we're excited that you are a part of that journey with us.
Yeah, happy to be a part of that journey and to support something so great to connect veterans, because sometimes it's not easy to just pick up and leave, especially if you're running your own business as your mom and pop shop. You're the only one there. You don't have employees. Hard to step away to leave to go to a conference. So I love that we get to bring the conference to you.
Yeah, exactly.
And one thing I do want to point out, and this is something I'm big on, I say it all the time. People are getting sick of hearing me say it, but we're not just a mission center or a resource center. We're not just here to be cutesy and maybe talk about the idea of business, because if you're here for shortcuts, you're in the wrong room. If you're here to build, grow, and lead, we're ready to get started. And we are considered to be a year-round ecosystem for veteran entrepreneurs. We're not building an ego system, it's an ecosystem. So if you're looking to build your ego, yeah, there's other groups you can join. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. There's other places to do that. And we want you to have strong, healthy relationships, of course. But we are really trying to build a true ecosystem that incorporates a lot of different things. And we're not building alone. We're part of a bigger message, part of a bigger picture. There's a lot of people in this space that are working with us, and we're really excited for that. So Vet Social 26, very excited for. We actually are having our 10th annual Veteran-Owned Business Conference here in Utah. It's our flagship event, if you will. And then we have our Unite conference. So there's a couple of different things we do. One up in the northern part of Utah, and the Unite conference is in November during National Veteran Small Business Week. So we're excited about doing those webinars again during National Veteran Small Business Week, celebrating with the SBA and helping to stand up those points there. So yeah, I'm really thrilled to be here, excited about it. Talk to us about a little bit more about what to expect in I can't talk today. Vet
Vet
Social.
Social. So again, Vet Social 25, huge. I thought it was a huge success, and definitely proud of where we've come. Our first Vet Social was in 2020, and we had a modest attendance of about 500 people. And so to grow with just the people that registered for the event was just amazing. And just the caliber of people that were speaking at the event, the value that was brought was like, it was unreal. And then we went from Vet Social, which I kind of consider it the door, kind of the doorway of like all these other veteran programs and conferences. So we went there, we did our Vet Social 25, and then, as we all met up at the Military Influencer Conference in Atlanta, just like 2 weeks later. And it was just amazing because you had people that attended Vet Social 25, and then they were able to actually interact with the speakers at the Military Influencer Conference, because a lot of those people that spoke at the Vet Social went on to either speak or just attend the MIC 25, which was just amazing, and by design, actually. And that speaks to the type of people that were, we had Lauren Hope, who was from Recurrent in defense, and who they manage, obviously, the Military Influencer Conference. We had Stephanie Brown from Rosie Network. We had Becky from Utah VBRC. We had Michael Parks. We had so many different Donnell Johns from Veterans Growing America. I should say Donnell John Sr. From VGA, and just so many tremendous people. And so Vet Social, we're just excited because, really our mission, as I said in the very beginning, and not to be on complete loop here, but unite, grow, amplify, and elevate the veteran community. So I think the way that we're going to do that this year is through these meaningful webinars rather, that you've planned. And I love it because we get to really get out there and touch everybody that wants to participate. Like you said, you don't have to get in your car, spend your gas money, or pay for a high price ticket. I'm not knocking any of that stuff, because all of that stuff is important. Networking is critical, but if you have an opportunity to get value added simply by sitting on your desk and opening up your computer or on your phone at Starbucks or wherever you are, Black Rifle Coffee. Here we got to make it veteran, right? And Black Rifle Coffee's in Utah, right? Aren't they headquartered in Salt Lake?
Yeah, we also have Alpha Coffee. That's a big supplier.
Or Alpha Coffee
too. Yeah.
And I'm not promoting any one coffee. So just to say, I have Starbucks in my cup today. So there we're even. I've kind of crossed the, but yeah, that's kind of what we're about. And we're looking forward to, obviously this is great, launch with intentionality. We're really deliberate about, and Becky is really the guide on, bearer on here. She's really leading the charge, because you have been very intentional and very deliberate on the itinerary, for this year. And why don't you tell us just a little bit about, you asked me about Vet Social, but why don't we kind of go in to some of the, amazing webinars that are going to be kicking off here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited for this year, because for many reasons. This is one of 2 webinar series that we're doing. We have another tech focused one that we're working on with other partners. And I'm really excited about all of it, but with the intent of not adding to the noise that's out there. We really kind of want to flip that on its head. There's fragmented resources out there. Not everybody knows where their resources are. And I guess that's kind of why this purpose of coming out with this series was to do, so we could pull some of the people together. We could actually have voices be heard and get people to be familiar with those already in their local ecosystems that they can turn to help build with what is being created, instead of having 55 different people focusing on the same thing, doing their own thing. Sometimes it's better to combine friendly forces so that you can really do something great, which is really why I wanted to partner with you on doing these webinars, and also lead up to build momentum for that Social 26 and also for what we have going on. So with our webinars this year, like today, we're just kicking it off, introducing the theme of it, introducing the thought behind it. We really would love your interaction with these things. So if you have something to say, you can throw that in the chat, you can comment, we'll see them as we go. Just make sure that we want to make sure that you are part of the content, you are part of the strategy here, because I think that's much more important than us just spouting off and saying, look at how cool that we think this topic is. We just really want to have your involvement as well. So today is the founder forecast. We're giving you the inside intel of what we know that's going on. If you know of other things going on, let us know about it. We'd love to be familiar with that as well. In February, I'm really excited. We're going to partner with our regional, the VBOC, the Big Sky Economic Development Office, the Big Sky VBOC out of Montana. They cover our area as part of their region. And we are partnering to bring somebody from a former U.S. Patent and Trademark Office leader, and someone who's been in that space for many, many years, to talk about brand armor to protect what you've built before someone else tries. David Lee, he's a fantastic attorney. We also have some local folks here at the University of Utah that's going to be helping with a couple of things and doing a trademark workshop for us to help you also not just know where and how to get started, but also help you walk through the steps to do it. We're excited about that. In March, we're looking at bringing on a couple of ranchers and farmers. We're working on a big initiative here in Utah to kick off an ag program that will help veterans get into farming and ranching. There's some programs that are coming online that are going to do that. And also that has a big partnership with a lot of different people. So watch for that when we get ready to kick that off and launch that out, because business is going to punch, and you got to punch back harder. And sometimes in the ag space, you got to punch a little bit more. So we'll have those conversations in March. In April, we're looking at a hands-on trademark lab. That's the workshop I was talking about with the University of Utah. We'll work with them on getting a workshop type put together, but it's going to be a lab where you can do your trademark and walk through some of those things. May, I skipped over April. No, that was April. May, we're going to have, May, we're going to do a pitch ready, battle ready, success ready. We have our minnow tank. I don't have deep enough pockets to call it a shark tank, so we call it our minnow tank, and we are having our pitch competition that month. And I think that's usually sometimes when I'm going to call it pitch season kind of kicks off sometimes. So let's bring on some experts that can help you get ready, because a strong pitch will open doors and a sharp pitch will knock them down. So let's get you ready for whatever you've got coming on, however you need to advocate for your business. And then in June, we have Kelly Johnson, who's with the VBRC. He works with me here. He is an expert at sourcing through government surplus, and he is going to do a whole workshop for everybody, so you can stay lean, because staying lean isn't about cutting the corners. It's about activating with what you can do for your business. And we want you to run your business with spending the least amount of money possible out the door. So he's going to give some really good insight and also some practical, pragmatic approaches to using the government surplus program for your business. And in July, we are going to be making a couple of big announcements this year. I'm not ready to do it yet, but we're going to have a workshop on doing business with big retail, because big retail with big moves, how a founder can break into big retail and level up. So for those product-based businesses, we're going to talk about how landing retail isn't about luck. It's about intentional readiness. There's steps you can take to be ready before you pitch to a big retail company or even a small one, maybe a local
And
one.
that has a lot to do with supply chain,
Yes.
as sourcing in a
Sourcing and
sense.
scaling. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm
Uh,
excited to hear that, to really learn about that in July. And then, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
no,
Becky.
you're good. I love it. It's just, if you're dreaming of getting on that shelf space, get your strategy to meet your execution, and let's
You
get
have to
going.
be ready for it,
Yeah.
because it's not like running uh, an e-commerce store when you're dealing with more shelf type of operations, retail operations. You have to be ready to meet the vendors. Well, they're not really the vendor. You have to be ready to meet the retailer's needs.
Yeah. It's
That's where a lot of people fail, actually.
well, and that's where a lot of the anger comes in too. I mean, there's some people, let's just be honest, like let's cut through the fluff. It's a little bit disheartening when you feel like, yes, I'm ready to go, and then you find out you're not, and then that's a hard pill to swallow. So let's get you ready to go, so you know
Yeah,
how to do business with big retail, so that you're not wasting your time going in
exactly.
and pitching. Like, go when you're ready to go. I'm excited about that conversation.
And then
um
August
yeah.
is like, am really excited about August, because I think it's so well. Go ahead, tell us about August. I'll tell you why I'm
No,
excited for it.
oh, okay. So this one is if you've been in the Army and you get your Frago orders, that's the thing where before anything hits the fan in your business, we're going to give you the Frago Founder Playbook. And Christopher Kleinman from the VBRC, he's also works with me here. He and I have been working together to put together a playbook to help businesses pivot from, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it this year, and really kind of dive in and look at the issues that are taking place there, so we can keep you on the growth trajectory, so that now there is some support between the shiny of starting up and the shiny of getting ready to go pitch your business for funding. Now we have a bridge to kind of help keep you going through that area. So I'm excited for it. But what were you going to say, Ryan?
Yeah, so just to add to that, and taking it in a little bit different direction and bring
Yeah.
it back, circle it back, is when you're, as an entrepreneur, as someone starting, and this could be applied to life overall. Planning is everything. Planning is everything, but the plan is nothing. You're
Yeah.
probably going to hear me say this 1,000 times over the next 12 months, but it is true. But as an entrepreneur, especially a bootstrap entrepreneur, you need to be flexible. You need to be adaptable. You need to be creative, and Fragos are part of that, and responsive. Also, I
Mhm.
forgot that. So these are like the 4 Ryan Hunt tenants, and I didn't just make them up. Actually, I stole them from the military.
Yeah.
But except for the creative, well, even with it there, you can be creative. But so responsiveness, adaptability, um, agility, creativity, all these different things are important, and that's what a Frago enables you to do. It enables you to adapt to changing conditions as an entrepreneur. It sounds like we're going to war, and we are. As an entrepreneur, you are going to war every day. You're battling it out, and so having the ability to have Fragos and to create Fragos and to shift gears midair is important.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And no, I love that, because there's so much that goes into trying to figure out where you should step. You don't know where the landmines are necessarily in your industry or in your business, and sometimes you're surprised. COVID was a big surprise for everybody, right? And so helping to build some of that, figuring out where you need to pivot. Maybe you need to finally bite the bullet and get your new employee. Maybe you need to really take a look at, do I have all of my overhead accounted for? So it's going to be very interactive. We're really excited about it, and Christopher's going to lead that conversation. And then Ryan, I want you to talk about September, and maybe you want to finish out the year with the topics here.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Again, 9 through 10 September, we'll be hosting Vet Social 26, which is going to be tremendous. The website is, I mean, there's going to be plenty of information about it, but you can always head over to www.veterans.socialsummit.com. Subscribe, become a part of our our newsletters. Just kidding about the spam part, but it's important. How else are we going to communicate to you? And one way we do that is through email. So if you're interested in being a part of what we have to say, definitely subscribe there. You'll be the first to know when we start doing the tickets, which the tickets will be free as of right now. Everything is free 99, and that's important because we want as many veterans and veteran community as a whole to be a part of what we're doing. But we'll open the speaker call. If you're out there, you're listening to this, and you're like, I want to be a speaker. We plan on opening up that speaker call in April to give a chance for people to come on stage and to drop nuclear value. Last year we had 80 speakers. This year we're actually, my plan is to scale it down a little bit. It was our 5th anniversary of the Vet Social, so we went a little bit bigger. I think we'll scale it down. It's going to be open, I think, to about 25 to 35 speakers. And really what I want to focus on is, as I'm listening to this Frago thing, I'm thinking planning is such, having so much information on planning is important, but I think it's going to be more focused on leadership and change management and being a change agent. Which will be a vast departure than last year. Was more about the pathways to entrepreneurship. So we're going to continue forward in growing in the Vet Social. But yeah, tremendous. And then October, and I had it. I had the list up here now, and I actually flipped it over.
Well,
I'm shameless. I've got my notes here, y'all. So let's see what we got here. I've totally fumbled.
Oh, good.
Don't worry, I got it.
Okay, good.
October, I got it. October.
I'm good with uncomfortable silence too. I can stare at the camera.
Yeah, I can too, as well. So, I'm getting ready to do something. I'm putting on my reading glasses.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my goodness, this is what you've been doing with me all morning. Fuel the fire. No, but in this regard, in October 6th, we'll be talking about Fuel the Fire, funding moves every founder should know. And so, and you put it in Becky's notes. She put, money isn't the mission, but it fuels the mission, and that's true. I mean, for me, I don't lead with it. I don't lead with money per se, and Becky knows this. I'm more just like, what's the value? What am I going to learn from this opportunity to be able to collaborate and to work with people? And I believe the money follows, but you need resources. That's the rub. You need the money, or you can't get the plane off the runway, right? And you can't keep it in the air. So money is so critical, and you can't build the runway. The runway is even more important because if you got a big airplane, that sucker needs a big runway, right? So that's what. And Becky puts no fluff, no fear, and I'm giving a lot of fluff here, but it's going to have actionable insights, and it's going to be huge. I mean, that will probably be one of the most valuable ones. Especially, we hit October, we're hitting really the beginning of the fiscal year. But also the last quarter of 2026. And that is a time when you begin to look at those fragos in the plan and even creating what I call, us military people know this, creating the military op order, the base order for 2027. And it's going to start with, how do I get this stuff paid for? I think it's going to be big. And then in November, Momentum Week, the Military Connected Founders Sprint, is Becky said, celebrating the National Veteran Small Business Week, which we were really, Vet Social and Forged by Service, were really proud to be a part of what Becky had going on this last year. I think we're just going to build on that success, especially, unfortunately, there was a government shutdown last November. So hopefully we'll be able to really get in there and have full participation. And then, then we finish with December. And what would it, this is appropriately named. It's our victory lap, really. And founder wins and the 2027 jumpstart. Just like I said, as you're getting, that last quarter, as you're getting to the very end, it's a good time to look back, do an after action review, and figure out what those sustains and those improves are, and prepare for battle for 2027. Can you believe we're only 6 days into this thing for 2026? I'm already excited about 2027. Let's go, Becky. We're gonna slay both years already, because we are of the mindset, and we want everyone to be a part of the mindset too. And that's what these webinars are going to bring, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's.
How did I do?
You did great. Bravo. Good job. Good recovery. Good job.
I know, right? This was not rehearsed, by the way.
No, we didn't get a chance to rehearse.
Becky tried to send me a 40-page script, and I went off script. I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
It was 45. No, I just like to plan things out so that we make sure that we know we're providing that value. But I do want to say one thing about December before we switch into a couple of different things. December really, as it's the victory lap, it really should be your victory lap. We want to share your victories with you.
Exactly.
And so if you have like a really neat victory during the year, we may ask you to hop on here with us in December. We would love to include your story in here, because what your success is, or what you've seen, or sometimes success is, wow, I survived this really difficult situation and I came through it. Exactly. That's inspiring to everybody else. Like, we can sit here and talk about how cool VBRC is, or how cool this organization is, how cool Vet Social will be. We can talk about all the things we've got going on, but it really is about the stories that you have going on, the experiences that you have seen from utilizing and actually activating the resources that you can get connected to. So,
and more learning is going to happen actually by hearing about the failing forward.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm actually not an expert hardly on anything, but I am an expert on failing forward. So being blown up literally and figuratively, but and also walking away and moving to the higher ground. And it's so important to be able to, again, it goes back to the after action reviews for yourself, but listening to other people's stories and their struggles, because entrepreneurship specifically is not for the lighthearted. No. And this is why I think veterans, and I hear some things like veterans don't make good business people, blah, blah, blah. I think it's a bunch of like baloney, because veterans have one thing, and milk spouses have it too, right?
Yep.
Grit, I'm sorry, Becky, this is your show, not mine.
The more you say, the less I have to. So it's great. I do want to shout out to, we have Rebecca. She says, Happy New Year. So Happy New Year to you, and also to James. We have Wasinke on here. It's been a long time, I think, since I've connected with you, Wasinke. Happy New Year to you as well. Eric is on here. He's one of our former business advisors that was at the VBRC. He became wildly successful and moved his family to Colorado. There were some tears shed. We have Ashley Louder on here. She is a powerhouse, for those of you that know her. She lives in rural Utah, and she gave the best advice at our conference this last year in 2026, when she told everybody to lean into your veteran status and to allow your spouse to lean into their veteran status as well, as a military spouse. So love to see all of them on here. Kyle's on here as well. He may be one of our guests that might come on here later on in the year. We're excited to chat with all of you. I want to hear all of the successes that you're seeing, because if you guys are not doing your businesses, what am I here for? Like, we want to see you be wildly successful at what you do. So with that, we do have, I wanted.
You're kind of a big deal.
Oh my gosh, put that off. Good grief. there's a lot of cool things that are happening to support veterans in entrepreneurship. I want to counsel everybody, if I may, keep an eye on what's happening for support in manufacturing. Keep an eye on support for what's happening with farming and ranching. You're going to want to keep an eye on what's going on with the SBA. We're going to actually be talking with one of the SBA district office people here on another webinar series about everything supportive from the SBA, what to expect in 2026. And then you've got to use, let's see, how do I put this? If veterans founded 8% of all new businesses in 2023, and they've outpaced their population share, so to speak, we want to make sure that you are integrating what you're doing into your time. We want to make sure this time is well spent for you. So make sure that you're getting some actionable tips from what is said, but also listen to things that are not said, because that's usually where the inspiration comes in. Sometimes it's something that neither one of us has said, but it pops in your head and you're like, I got to do this. Share those with us. We'd love to know so that we can support you and how best to support you. So with that, let's talk about support. What is available nationwide for veterans to pick up and run with? I know for you and I, Ryan, we were involved with the ambassador program from IVMF, Institute for Veterans and Military Families. Big network across the nation. Let's talk a little bit about where people can tap into that and how they can help build the budding ecosystems around the nation.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm a little biased, but I have traveled almost the entire journey of a veteran entering the IVMF pipeline, if you will. And there are so many resources with the Institute for Veterans and Military Families. And it's simple. It starts with going to ivmf.syracuse.edu. And that could be a resource, whether you're an entrepreneur and mil spouse or family members. I mean, it's military. It's the Institute for Military Veterans and Family. So it's for everyone, really. Mm-hmm. That's part of the military community. And that's whether you're professional. So they have the O2O program that has training and credentialing, for example, in project management and HR, or you have the entrepreneurial side. And just entering that pipeline, becoming a part of the IVMF family gives you access to so many resources, whether it's analytical through their IVMF digital library, or there's other opportunities and courses such as the Sandler sales course, or Veteran Edge, a huge conference being held in Dallas in March. I believe it's 3 and 4 March. Pretty huge. The EBV, which is the Entrepreneur Boot Camp for Veterans, the VWise, There's so many different programs. I mean, really. And at the end of the day, as a really good friend of mine told me a long time ago, he said, the real value of IVMF is the network, right? Mm-hmm. We always hear it. Network or your net worth is your network, yada, yada. Well, that's true. And IVMF is a huge, powerful network. But okay, let's talk about some other resources too, real quick.
Yeah, no, we've also got.
I don't want to just pump and promote IVMF. I mean, they are great, and I'm a little bit biased. I am an IVMF ambassador too, for what that means. And what that means is here we are on a national stage in a sense because we're on the internet. And so even if you're out there and you're like, well, I see Utah VBRC. That doesn't matter to Becky and I. We want to just help the veteran community as a whole. So you could be anywhere, really, that you want to be. And here's another program to consider. And I think do them all, quite frankly. And I have. And I'm gonna I'm like a wind-up doll. Becky didn't realize this, but SBA, Thrive. You've got Strive. Look, they rhyme. Thrive, and then you can strive, and then you have places like. Oklahoma State University has their own veteran entrepreneur program. Here I am 11 years into being an entrepreneur. I'm going in not October. I'm sorry. I'm going in February to Stillwater, to a very exciting vacation, to Oklahoma State University. and that's going to be great. There's the DAV Patriot Boot Camp, another amazing program. University of Florida has a program, the Veteran Entrepreneur Program as well. And then PinFed has their own program, which is just another amazing program. Rosie Network, Warrior Rising, I have to say them because they're in Utah, but there's a lot of different programs. My preference, obviously I have a couple preferences. I won't even tell you what mine is, but Becky, all right, I've rambled on enough.
Yeah,
okay. Did I share enough?
You did. You did great. I want to hop back. So Strive is actually a program we partner with IBMF. It's an IBMF program. We're one of 10 schools that teach it nationally. We have two versions of it. One is the traditional one, and one we do talk with women about how to navigate through the biases they can encounter when they're doing business. But it's a really great program. There's Strive programs across the nation. It's all on that IVMF website. I do want to, what Sinke said, I want to talk to some of the other resources that the SBA has. If you're not sure, I've met with a lot of different people. Even before I worked here, I was doing some consulting and counseling for businesses, helping them get into retail spaces and whatnot. But one of the things that has been an extremely deep value that we've seen in my opinion, this is my opinion, not necessarily that of everyone else on here, but there's the disclaimer. I don't have all the legalese down, but I'm dropping it in the chat here, is the learning.sba.gov, because there's a lot of people that feel like, oh, I wish I knew something a little bit before I go talk with a business advisor. This is a place where you can kind of get that basis for it. The military spouse training for veteran entrepreneurship is on there as well. The pathway to business, and the SBA has really gone all in on helping veterans with their businesses, and with the Office of Veteran Business Development, phenomenal team there. They also are the ones that oversee all of the veteran business outreach centers. There's 33 of them across the nation, so you have no excuse to not find your local VBOC or whatever, but they are phenomenal folks as well, that work to teach the boots to business training, the reboots. In fact, ours is, we're going to do we have an online reboot training. There's a whole calendar you can go to. I'll find it here in a second and drop it in the chat to sign up for that boots to business training. That's that 30,000 foot view of how to get started in business, and Strive is kind of that next step up. I know there's other groups that have different things. I know Warrior Rising just announced they're changing the way they're doing their structure for helping people get into business. So the bottom line is, get everything that helps you. Take advantage of every educational piece that you can. Tap into all 100%. Of the resources to help your business be successful. Because if you're doing your business, this is a conversation I just had with one of the bigger city economic development leaders here in Utah. If you're doing your business and you're growing your business, and you know where the resources are, not just for you, but for your employees, for tapping into your veterans benefits, get all of it that you can. Because if you're building your business and growing, guess what? You're hiring employees, and guess what? You're contributing to the bottom line for the whole economic system that you are living in. You're building up your community. You're getting credibility, not just with your employees, but also with the community that you serve, your clients, your customers. Get all of the stuff you need to for your business. And that's the reason why we want to cut through the noise. We want to have some really good conversations. And we're not going to say, pick this one over that one, because our experience is going to be different than yours. Your business has different needs than what other businesses need. Get what you need. Yeah.
Like, if you have the time, a lot of these are funded. So if you have the time, go and do it. You never know. As I've gone through a lot of these different programs, whether it was at University of Florida or at St. Joseph's in Philadelphia, you never know who you're going to talk to. And you may have some challenge or thought in your head, and you have a conversation with Becky, and then she's like, blows up your idea, like in a good way, blows it up, or blows it up like in a bad way, or gives you that critical feedback that just changes, the trajectory of where your business is going. and the power of the network again is like, you never know, maybe 10 years from now, I may be in business with Becky, who knows, or whoever I'm having a discussion with. So these are great programs. And as it goes, if you do have employees, one thing that I do, especially with 10th Mountain Recruiting, which is one of my businesses, is that anybody that comes onto my team, I make them go through a Lean Six Sigma yellow belt, which is it's not time consuming, but there's a lot of free Lean Six Sigma courses that are available, especially to the veteran community. And recommend it. It's an investment in not only in your employees, but it's also an investment in your organization as well. And going back to this lean thing, it's not just about cutting things. So I'm making it actually about a lean course. Lean can help you, of course, create those efficiencies, increase the productivity and the quality. And what does that do? That's increasing your bottom line ultimately at the end of the day.
Yeah. And there's a couple of things which this is the other thing that people are probably tired of me saying. And some of you know this, some of you don't, but you're going to know it now. When I work with clients, I usually tell them that I have 2 rules that they have to abide by when they're working with us. One is that if you need something, you need to say something. Don't suffer in silence. Don't think like, oh, I'll just figure it out. If there's a faster way to figure it out to get you over a pit or, that bridge that you need, find it, use it, go to the resource and take advantage of it. Don't suffer in silence. And if we don't have the resource for you, we'll find who in our network does, so that we can at least keep you moving forward. It's not just, let's get you to a resource center. Bye, have a nice day. Let's actually get you activating on that resource and getting what you need out of it. And if it's not what you need, let's find the resource that's there. And then my second rule is, regardless of what's happening, what conversation we're having, if the VA calls, you freaking answer that phone, because I know it takes forever for them to call you back sometimes. They're working on fixing some things, I know, but it's going to be hairy for a minute. So I'm okay being interrupted for that. It's all good. But a couple of other things I want to shout out that we've got coming on for this year is we're partnering, like I said, with our VBOC to teach. We teach Boots to Business with them. We'll help. We'll provide space for them to do their reboot classes, but we're also doing a couple of webinars with them, like we spoke about. And then another thing, we're really excited to work with the DAV on seeing if we can bring a Patriot boot camp here to Salt Lake City. Excited about that. And then we've got some other there's Silicon Slopes. If you're familiar with Silicon Valley from California, Utah has their Silicon Slopes organization that stood up here many years ago. They have been phenomenal in the tech space. And we're actually, we have the military chapter for Silicon Slopes that actually is having conversations with tech and education and workforce and all of those things, how they work together with entrepreneurship to help everybody raise the tide so we can all raise together. So the Silicon Slopes Summit is coming up in February. And there's a lot of resources out there. There's a lot of things you can go to. There's NAVOBA, the National Association of Veteran-Owned Businesses. They have great resources as well. I want to shout out to them. And then take a look at the people that are supporting those organizations. We've had a lot of success with a lot of different things. And I don't want to go on a branding tirade, so we'll save that. But there's a lot of interest in helping and supporting and seeing you all be successful. But like I said, these are meant to be interactive. Rebecca, she's attended VWise, which Ryan mentioned, which is the Veteran Women Igniting the Spirit of Entrepreneurship. It's an IBMF program. I've been to a couple of those, and I can tell you, going to those is not just stepping into a network of women. You actually participate in the courses leading up to VWise, the event, and then you go to the event, and it is like a revival. You are not a stranger in any room at that event. It's very interesting. It's a total different feel from going to Edge, and it's pretty phenomenal to be part of. So yeah, there's no reason why you can't be successful. You can't afford not to participate in all the things that you need. So please say something. If there's something you want to hear about, if there's, we'll keep an eye on big things happening in entrepreneurship sphere. And if there's things that we need to talk about, we will. But let us know how you're doing. If you have a win, let us shout out about it too for you, and let you get a stage for a minute so you can be like, actually, my big win was that I finally wrote my employee handbook. Ryan can tell you that's a big deal for some
It
business.
is. It is.
And it's
And we do have a free, since you brought it up, I do
Yeah.
have a free template, 100% free. You can download it at your convenience. You don't even have to put your email in, and you can find that at rallypointhr.com. Just scroll to the bottom through all the other white noise, and you'll see free downloadable template. It'll give you at least the basics. You'll still have to fill it in, but it just gives you a basic template for that. Since you brought up an employee handbook, might as well plug that real quick. But it's free, so that's the important thing.
And I'm dropping the calendar from the SBA, from the Office of Veteran Business Development. They have a whole calendar where you can find all the reboot courses. Some are in person, some of them are online, some of them are hybrid. Find the best one for you. Even if you just want a refresher of like, hey, I want to take this new business idea and look at this new business idea from the starting point, use it for that too. It's free. And when we're talking about free, that doesn't mean that it's not valuable. We don't charge for what we provide for our veterans because there's your service already paid for our service. That's the line we're going to say all day long. We don't need to charge for counseling, consulting, all of that, but we will pull the best that we can through to help you get to the pieces that you need. We've connected with mentors. We have a law firm that will help do some review of contracts for free for a little bit. And if you do need some services, that's when you can have a conversation with them. We have a company that's willing to help with some fractional CFO consulting stuff here and there. But it really is at the end of the day, at the end of everything, I'm going to say something that this is the dirtiest word to me sometimes, and that's the word discount. Because you should never discount your expertise. You should never discount what you have to offer. And just because you're trying to acquire some customers, you can give them a sample, you can give them a partner pricing, but don't discount yourself just to discount it. Business needs to be business sometimes. And so you do have to have those monetary exchanges, but sometimes you can barter. Bartering is a really good way to build your business at the beginning as well. So go ahead, Ryan. You have something you want to say?
No, because what you're saying is so true. And this is not a contradiction of what you're saying. Don't discount it. But, especially for the newbies or someone that's, putting out a new product, you can have a beta. So you could do a barter. I like the idea of a barter where you're gaining a testimonial, for example. A video testimonial that could be, to me, that's worth a $10,000, $20,000 commission in recruiting. I would definitely. Sometimes I've done it. I just recently did it. Someone was like, "Well, I should be paying you," and I'm like, "You don't have to pay me. First off, I love giving back to the veteran community, but if you want to pay me, shoot a video at some point. You don't have to do that today." Girlfriend, but you can barter, or you can barter services, or maybe just for the beta, you're lowering the cost, or you're giving it away for free so that people can try it. You can do a proof of concept to make sure that whatever your great idea is actually going to make the magic. And the magic also comes in referrals, quite frankly. So maybe you take a little bit of bread in the beginning to get a lot more bread later.
Yeah.
Just thought.
I love that. It's it's a very good way to build your business and your network at the same time. And when you're doing something like that, bartering, or talking about, hey, could you give me a testimonial and I can do this for you? I need some customer feedback. Could you give me some feedback on my business idea? there's ways that you can make it valuable for both of you, but both of you have to get value out of the trade. That's
Yeah.
kind of my big rule about that. I actually was talking about this with one of our clients actually just yesterday. And he told me, he shared with me, he's in the steel industry. And I hope he'll forgive me for sharing this with you all. But he was walking through, he had to go on a tour of some steel plants in another country, and he's walking through, and he just kind of had this moment hit where he was like, how cool is this, that I'm working in my business, in my industry, and I'm actually here. And he had this minute where he kind of realized like he's on the right path. And whether you believe in a higher power, or if you just feel like this is the universe talking to you, whatever you want to couch it as, he was like, I know I'm in the right place at the right time. And he shared how he was talking with his brother about that. And his brother was like, how do you know? And he said, I just felt it. You just feel it. It's an amazing feeling. And so when these are his words, not mine, but he
Yeah.
did say that that was his $1 million moment. He said, it didn't bring me $1 million, but that's when I knew I could have $1 million business. And I said, okay, so I want you to write that down. Get out a piece of paper, type it up, write down that whole story. Close your eyes. Remember how it smelled, what sounds were going on, everything about that moment. Write it all down. And then when you make your first $1 million, I want you to read that and remember that all over again. And then write a new story about how it felt to get your $1 million. And I know you've had your own $1 million moments, Ryan, and successes. Do you want to share a little bit about that? Because we talked about sharing out the wins and
Sure. I mean,
yeah.
I consider myself an accidental entrepreneur. So my first business, and still exists today, 11th year, was an e-commerce, and it essentially started with selling stickers and hats, and it quickly evolved into making $1 million selling stickers. It almost, when I tell this story, and I really didn't tell the story too much up until this last year. I did make $1 million, but I do not have a Lambo. See, there is a difference. Like I made $1 million gross, but net minus failing forward, doesn't plus taxes. IRS definitely gave me an education that year. So at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, it was great, and it as I'm preparing myself for the future, and coming up with you said vision is like huge, and that's part of the planning process. Like, you got to have a vision, you got to have a mission, and you've got to have tasks that are nested and support those things. And actually, even before tasks are lines of effort, but the tasks are critical. I just read Becky's op order. You've got to have your op order. You've got to have a plan in place so that you can move forward. And yeah, so back to the $1 million, it was a great experience, but it's given me the confidence to know that whether I make $1 million again or not, I have the confidence that I can generate revenue, out of nowhere, and I have been for a good 11 years. And so it's important to be able to manifest these things as well. So I'm kind of going all over the place on this thing, but it was amazing. And I think a lot of people can do it. They can manifest, whether that's gross or net. You can go out there, and if you have the right mindset and you're consistent, you got a plan, you got a frago to the plan, to the op order, you can go out there and make the magic happen for sure. But also know that you need a team around you. You need people that are going to help to collaborate, to help to grow and amplify and elevate what you're doing.
Yeah. And building a squad is not easy. We always talk about the bail team in entrepreneurship, and some people are like, what does that mean? Bail team? Don't call us if you get arrested. It is actually your banker, your accountant, insurance, legal. Sometimes it's best to put a marketing person in your bail team. these are the folks that you can go to when you have a question that's coming up. And one of our instructors in Strive, our Strive instructor, he teaches the business law piece of it, and we have another one that teaches in the women one. She's phenomenal, Erica and Dreesen. We're probably going to have her come and talk about some continuity things here going on. That's her expertise level. And they always say, never let a lawsuit go unanswered. And I'm going to broaden that because I don't think you should let a customer go unanswered. I don't think you should let an opportunity go unanswered. Sometimes you have to kind of be like, pick and choose and say, I can have my energy here or here. I can't do both. That's okay, because time is still there. Time is still moving forward. Do what's going to make you the money. Go to where the money is. But remember, that's what's fueling your business, so that you can provide opportunities in your community for your employees, for yourself, for your family. And that's really what we're all here about. So yeah, Rebecca, absolutely. IT is a big one that you're going to need help with. We actually have a really great story from somebody that started a cybersecurity company, and he's really building as a ambassador for cyber governance in small business and making that a little bit more affordable for people. So lots of big conversations, lots of things out there. Please let us know what you need so that we can have those conversations, get you the people on here that will talk to what you need to. But we're super excited about 2026. I'm done talking, Ryan.
Well, wow. Yeah, I think I'm really excited, and I'm looking forward to everyone coming and joining us. We will definitely be putting things out on the Utah VBRC LinkedIn page and social media channels. You'll also see stuff about upcoming webinars, on Veteran Social Summit. And we definitely want you to join. Just special thanks to the Utah VBRC for allowing Vet Social and Forged by Service to be a part of this series of webinars. I'm really excited about it. I think Becky and I have definitely expressed that there's going to be definitely a lot of value, and we do want your not only your buy-in but your collaboration as we go through this year. And definitely reach out to us. This is one net and what I mean by net is, if you have questions and you're an entrepreneur, you're looking for resources, Becky is definitely a place to hit up. You can hit me up. I give a lot of coaching. I just recently had one on the 2nd of January. I'm like lost in time here. I'm thinking of every month. I'm 2nd April to January. I had this really great call for an hour and a half with a veteran about his business endeavor. And I think that's something that Becky and I love to do, is definitely give back to the veteran community. And I have to give it to Becky. She's not even a veteran. Oh. She's not even a military spouse, but no. And I'm saying that in that voice, meaning, I'm a
military family member. Woo!
There you go. She wants to give back to the veteran community, and it's just amazing. And she is making a huge impact here. You are doing some just crazy, amazing things. I'm just a support cast here, so I'm glad. And I'm glad to be a part of it. But with that being said, we're going to see you back here on, let me look at my 45-page op order. When is it? 6 first week of February.
Yep.
And we're going to be back here, and we're going to be doing some amazing things. And I know that much is for certain. So thank you.
February 3rd.
There you go. February 3rd. And it'll be at the same time, same back channel. And we will see you then.
And we'll have someone else other than the two of us on there. So
exactly. You're not just going to see us talking heads the whole time. No one wants to hear me drone on for hours and hours. And with that, I'm cutting us off. So thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care. Be safe out there.
Go be successful.
Exactly.